Looking forward to leading it from start to finish, hopefully. But a lot of good cars out here. Practice today, and still really happy with the car. I mean, the car's been good all weekend, so pretty much going with what we've been running. Little, minor changes, but guys have worked real hard. The car's great. Just see what happens.
Now, this is going to be the first year in a number of years for this division racing here. You guys are actually going to be racing during when there's sun on the track the whole way around. Has that played a difference in any of the strategy coming up for your setup here? Also, the cold temperatures in the past are, pretty much history. It's going to be a nice one here.
Yeah, well, I mean, luckily it's been pretty nice all weekend, so kind of been practicing in those conditions. I didn't really practice too much Thursday night and didn't have to run a heat last night, so most of my time on the track's been in the day, so I think we're in pretty good shape.
And of course, you said yesterday that you love driving these cars. You're turning pretty comparable lap times to your modified, but seems to be easier doing it. So if 50 or whatever the 50 laps for the distance here for this race, anything you can use coming up for tonight?
I don't think so. The tour cars, they look the same, but they don't drive. It's totally different. So just gonna go out here and have fun. These cars are fun to drive, and do the best we can. See if we can go win it.
All right, folks, that's your pole sitter, Ronnie Silk, driving the 58 here tonight. Looking to
car out of Brick, New Jersey. It's the 77 of Michael Carpenter.
Starting in the 27th position, representing the Ace Speedway here this weekend from Burlington, North Carolina, please welcome Gary Young Jr.
26th spot will go to the number 38 of Robert Schwartz Jr. He hails from Cornelius, North Carolina. Xylene and OneEaks.com providing the sponsorship.
Starting in the 25th position, car number 74, representing the Spencer Speedway from Bellwood, Ontario, the CarQuest Fergus entry, it is Sherry Hogan.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the orange number 61 in the 24th position. It's a famous looking modified being driven by a well-known name in the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, driving the 61 Junior, it's Richie Evans Jr.
Starting in 23rd in the 8P, representing the SST Modified Series from Oswego, New York, the Raytech Security entry, please welcome Patty Pruitt.
And in the 22nd position, it will be the number 12F being driven by Kevin Flockhart. The Crestwood Jewelers entry, the driver hails from Whitting, New Jersey.
21st starter, car number 3, representing the All-Star Speedway from Norwood, Massachusetts, please welcome Hollywood Hank, Henry Stamfel.
Henry Stamfel will start 21st in the 20th spot. He drives the number 27 out of Lavalette, New Jersey. The Cleese Bar and Grill sponsored entry for Adam LaCicero.
19th starter, car number 1 from Mooresville, North Carolina, the LB Builders of Mooresville entry. Car number 1 for the Rocket Man, Ricky Knapp.
And in the 18th spot, it will be the number 14 from Howell, New Jersey, the ATN and Sons Excavating sponsored car for Mark Nappy. Pistol.
Car number 11, next in line from Oakhurst, New Jersey. Car number 11 today to be driven by Pistol Pete Britton.
And starting in the 16th position, he pilots the number 48 out of Brockport, New York, the Too Quick chassis sponsored entry for Rick Kluth.
15th starter, car number 91, representing the Mountain Speedway here this weekend from Little Falls, New Jersey, Sean Carrig.
And starting in the 14th position, a very well-known name in the NASCAR world. He drives the Extramart CNT trailers from Mooresville, North Carolina, piloting the number 8. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jeffrey Earnhardt.
13th starter, car number 81 from Kensington, Connecticut, Plymouth Ready Mix, providing the sponsorship for this NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour regular, now behind the wheel of his SK, the 81 of Ryan Preece.
And starting in the 12th position, in the number 71 out of Candor, New York, the Gina Zacharias owned entry, the 71 for Jimmy Zacharias.
Your 11th starter, car number 51, hailing from Waterford, Connecticut, Big A Auto Parts of North Brantford in Connecticut, providing the sponsorship to this Waterford Speed Bowl regular, the 51 for Rob Janovic.
And in the 10th position, he pilots the T&S Haulers. Charlie Jazambak replica paint job number 5. Eddie Partridge is the car owner. His son won the little shootout. Dad hopes to do it in the big shootout. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Beers.
9th starter, car number 12. From Howell, New Jersey, TS Haulers providing the sponsorship for our defending winner of this 50-lap main event. Car number 12, please welcome Showtime, Jimmy Blewett.
And starting to the inside of Jimmy Blewett, he pilots the number 4 out of Groton, Connecticut, Concrete Express and AP Marquardt providing the sponsorship for Ron Uhas Jr.
7th starter, the 00 from Plainville, Connecticut, James Page Plumbing and Heating, providing the sponsorship for your 2008 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion. Looking for a win in this 50-lap modified event for the SKs, Teddy Christopher.
And in the 6th position, out of Raynham, Massachusetts, it's the Falmouth Ready Mix. Kathy Moniz owned entry the number 31 for Tommy the Kid Cravino.
Starting in the 5th spot, car number 10. From Milford, Connecticut, Extra Mart Convenience Stores and Connecticut Trailers providing the sponsorship for the Stafford Motor Speedway and Waterford Speed Bowl regular. Car number 10, Doug Kobe.
And in the 4th position, he pilots the number 55, the Oval Speed Unlimited sponsored entry from Freehold, New Jersey, second-generation driver Steve Reed.
Starting in the 3rd spot, it's the 8F. From Neptune, New Jersey, Jeff's Service Center providing the sponsorship for the 3rd fastest driver in time trial qualifications yesterday for Tommy Farrell.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the front row. Starting on the outside pole, piloting the number 19 out of Guilford, Connecticut, Pasquarello Electric Corporation providing the sponsorship for the 19 of Kenny Horton.
And your fastest qualifier in time trial qualifying yesterday afternoon, and the driver that'll bring them around to the green flag. Car number 58 from Norwalk, Connecticut. Silk Plumbing and Heating and Pettit Racing Engines providing the sponsorship for today's pole sitter, Ronnie Silk.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. All 29 drivers lined up here on the front straightaway. Give them a round of applause. They're going to do 50 laps of green flag action. No counting caution flags during the yellow. You're not going to hear terms this weekend like splitter, arrow push, or anything like that. This is not a 500-mile snooze fest. This is grassroots racing at its 1, 2, 3. Drivers, start your engines! The field comes to life, 29 cars strong.
Feel the ground begin to rumble beneath your seats as the field begins to pull away from the front straightaway. Ronnie Silk, Kenny Horton, Tommy Farrell, Stephen Reed, and Doug Kobe, and the rest of today's 29 starters begin to assemble for the 50-lap SK Modified feature. EH and Pat Weddle and family, lap number 2. Hitchcock Racing, lap number 3. KLM Motorsports will sponsor lap number 4. TS Haulers in memory of John Blewett III. Lap number 5.
Used to work at, but lap 26 sponsored by Triple G Racing, 27 by Reliable Welding and Speed, lap 28 by Stafford Motor Speedway, lap 29 by...
We'll get the 1 to go signal, this time by...
Wave them off, folks. Wave them on as they are ready to do 50 laps for you.
Wave the hats, wave the programs as we assemble into rows of 2.
Girls, wave whatever you want.
For the final time, underneath We're behind the pace car. Ronnie Silk, 58. Kenny Horton in the 19. That is the front row. Tommy Farrell, Stephen Reed, Doug Kobe, Tommy Cravino, Ted Christopher, Ron Uhas, Jimmy Blewett, Eric Beers. The top 10, the front 5 rows. Pace car pulls to the infield, and the field of 29 SK Modifieds rumble off of turn number 3 and look for the start.
Down the front straightaway, nice even start. Horton on the outside, trying to get the advantage on Ronnie Silk. Ronnie Silk still going side by side with Horton. One car smoking on the bottom. That looks like the 45 of Gary Young.
Cravino goes around in turn number 3, and other cars become collected.
Ricky Knapp involved, Sean Carrig involved. The number 27 also in there, that's Adam LaCicero. So no one lap complete. It's up on the board, and Kyle, it's a wreck early in the race.
Not a lot of contact up in turn number 3. It could have been a lot worse as Tommy Cravino, it looked like, was the first car to break loose right up there toward the front of the field. And that was not the Cravino car. It was the 81 car that actually went around, the team car, over in turn number 3 for Ryan Preece. So
a frustrating day for Ricky Knapp. He didn't make the race last year. He was so excited about being involved in this year's SK Modified main event, and with only one lap in the book, Ricky Knapp looks like he's gonna get hooked up to the business end of a wrecker.
To aid that car off of the turn 3 wall.
Of the wreckers, Ricky Knapp's car being towed off the track, not even touching the ground, so that's never a good sign when you're taking a car back to the pit area looking like that.
Yeah, right front completely ripped away for Ricky Knapp when he made.
Spent the whole year basically tearing the car down to the frame and redoing it from the ground.
3 distinct corners, and we have just been receiving word that they are going to bring all of the cars down the front straightaway and stop them, so there is a lot of moisture and debris over in the 3rd corner. So the red will draw the winning ticket for the 50-50s. So $1,300 going to the winner of the 50-50s booth, keeping an eye on the track with the sun right in your face. The fans, I'm sure, know better. Green flag flies off of turn number 3. Ronnie Silk with the advantage on the start.
Kenny Horton will tuck in a line in 2nd as Silky leads him into turn number 1. Side by side for 3rd. Farrell to the inside, to his outside, Stephen Reed, the Stafford rookie in car number 55. And again, trouble right in the front of the field in turn number 3. Everybody will stack up behind him, and the caution comes out again. That was Kenny Horton that went around this time while running in 2nd.
Kenny Horton definitely had a little help, Kyle. It looks like he got tagged from behind. I couldn't tell who it was, but it looked like an orange car. Don't know if it might have been Farrell or Corvino. Tough to tell, but that was...
He will pull away. The 74 remains idle for Sherry Hogan. Remember, that was the car that could not fire after
4 car.
Not sure if
the wheel, Tommy Farrell, he's a pretty stout individual. Got some big arms on him. Must be cranked that wheel a little bit too hard to the left as he pulled.
Definitely critical, Kyle. You want to be able to talk to your spotter, talk to...
Begin losing laps.
The Hendrick Chevrolet Cadillac of Monroe pace car, bringing the field to a stop.
Says we're set for the restart. Single file this time off turn 3.
Single file coming down the front straightaway, bumper to bumper. Ronnie Silk leads the field back to the line. They all go into turn 1. Steve Reed in that 2nd spot. Ceravolo slips up the track. That allows Christopher to get past for the 4th spot.
Come back off of turn number 3, back down to the stripe. 1 lap complete, and it will be the 58 of Ronnie Silk grabbing the top spot. A great run for the 55 early. Stephen Reed, Doug Kobe on the charge from deeper in the pack. He is now among the top 3, looking to the outside off turn 3.
Jimmy Blewett and Ron Uhas
trouble!
Side by side. Trouble on the front straightaway.
Kobe and Reed get together. 2-car incident everybody is able to avoid. Stephen Reed got turned by Doug Kobe.
Kyle, it looks like it's going to be one of those days for the SK Modifieds.
Chris Zacharias, he has more from this latest incident on the racetrack.
And Horton, of course.
1 lap to go before the restart. We told you it would be double file until lap 30, and Ron Uhas in the 4 will restart in 4th. Here we go, single file off turn 3. We'll try it again. Green flag flies, and we go back into turn number 1. Top 5 are able to break away. That also includes the 12 for Showtime. Jimmy Blewett as they go to turn number 2.
Single file down the back straightaway. No real bids for position just yet within the top 10. Keep an eye on that red number 6, Kyle. Keith Rocco has come from dead last, and he's already in the top 10.
Now, I'm not sure where the 6 has come from, but he's been able to avoid all the trouble and everybody else's misfortune. He is among the top 10 for Keith Rocco as they come back off the corner. Top 2 break away. That is Ronnie Silk and Ted Christopher.
Ted Christopher runs in that 2nd spot. He has yet to win an SK Modified race here at the Concord Motorsport Park. He's won a Southern Modified event here. Now Teddy goes to the bottom of Ronnie Silk in 3.
Makes it look easy off of turn number 3. New leader as they cross the stripe with 5 laps complete. It's Ted Christopher at the point. Silky falls into 2nd, Cravino 3rd, Ron Uhas 4th, Jimmy Blue at the top 5. Keith Rocco continues to make his way up through the field. He is 7th and wanting more.
Good move for Keith Rocco. He's going to make that left turn down underneath Eric Beers, coming down the front straightaway into turn 1. He's going to overhaul Beers and take that spot away from him. Top Cluth right behind him as well. A little bit deeper in the field, no real bids for position just yet, but all eyes are on that red number 6 of Keith Rocco.
Sherry Hogan goes another lap down as Rocco continues to fight his way up through the field, up to 6th, and a caution is out for a couple of cars getting together at the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 3.
That looks like the 38 of Robert Schwartz Jr. involved. Xylene providing the sponsorship on that race car. Tough to see the other race car that is parked on the bottom of the corner. Can't see him from
as well. And the 14 for Mark Nappy from Howell, New Jersey.
Received a word on Jeffrey Earnhardt. For more on that, here's Chris Zachariah.
Makes a return to the racetrack over in turn number 1. After starting on the front row, of course, 31 and the 4 of Ron Uhas. 24 remain of the original 29 as we try it again off of turn number 3 and the green flag to begin lap number 8. Green flag.
Going down into turn number 1, Ted Christopher continues to lead the charge. Ronnie Silk quick behind him. There goes one of the orange cars deeper in the field. That's the number 31 of Tommy Cravino. Of Brian Priest, I'm sorry. Priest picks up that spot. He's just outside the top 10. He'll go side by side with Sean Carrick deep in the field.
Sean Carrick to the outside. Check that. Ryan Priest to the inside, and 2 cars came together a moment ago, and that opened the door for Doug Kobe.
Doug Kobe did take that spot away from him, but look in the 5th spot, a fight for the 4th position, between Ron Uhas and the 6 of Rocco. Rocco up on the outside of Ron Uhas. Keith Rocco is coming to the front in a hurry, Kyle.
And he's doing it the hard way in the outside lane, the long way around, really using the 14 degrees of banking in turn 1 and in turn 3 to his full benefit. He is up to 4th, just bypassing Ron Uhas a lap ago and closing in on Tommy Craveno in car number 31.
Keith Rocco may be the fastest car out there on the track right now. He's got a lot of time to catch the number 31 of Todd Ceravolo, and after that, the leaders of Silk and Christopher. There are going to be 12 laps to go 12 laps down when they hit the stripe. So keep an eye on the red 6 of Keith Rocco.
Here they come back down the back chute here at the Concord Motorsport Park. Ted Christopher leads over Ronnie Silk in 2nd. The race is suddenly for 3rd. Tommy Cravino in the 31 and the 6 of Keith Rocco. The 4 of Ron Uhas, he is stabilized in 5th.
Ron Uhas with no one around him, but about a half a straightaway back is Rick Cluth and the number 5 of Eric Beers. Beers feeling the pressure of the 48 of Cluth in that 2 quick chassis. They're going to battle for the 7th position out there, but keep an eye on Rocco. Rocco is now caught Cravino.
That is the race for 3rd, about 10, 12 car lengths behind the race leader. Rocco looks to the inside on Cravino. A little contact there off of turn number 3. Now looks to the outside. Cravino throws the block. And again, more contact off of turn 2 down the short chute to turn 3. this the race for third.
Almost pushing him off the corner. Crovino has to check up. He's really messed up.
Ronnie Silk becomes a factor, and that car hard into the outside wall, and he was just an innocent bystander in an incident that included the 31 of Crovino and the 6 of Rocco.
Ryan Priest looks like he's also involved. So a tough break for those drivers and those cars. Ron Uhas out of the car. He's walking away. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause. The driver is all right. That was a very, very scary, tense incident.
And now the car has come ablaze down in turn number 1. The driver is out of the car, though, for Ron Uhas, and that all started right at the front of the field between Rocco and Crovino. They had their own little battle going on, and Uhas became the unfortunate factor involved.
Well, what it looked like from our point of view up here, it looked like Keith Rocco was knocking on the back door of Tommy Crovino, just popping him going through the corners. You could see him lay the bumper to him down the back straightaway. Almost looked like he was pushing Crovino down the back straightaway into 3. They made contact again as they came off the corner. Crovino kind of turned to the left a little bit to let Rocco know he wasn't too happy. Ron Uhas was just trying to sneak on past, and he became the victim of circumstances. And you see that Uhas's car is now a smoldering pile of metal over in turn 1.
Luckily, Ron has climbed out okay, but he was in the process of making a great move here on the front straightaway. He was about to go 3 wide around the battling 6 and 31 cars of Rocco and Crovino, including Ted Christopher and Ronnie Silk, both pulling double duty here this weekend, along with Eric Beers.
Doing some adjustments still, trying to get that front end right for him to continue. And
pulls it to the infield. We'll try it again. Teddy Christopher, Ronnie Silk.
Look how far back the number 6 of Rocco is hanging. He's trying to get a good jump on the restart. Closes up on Ronnie Silk. Green flag flies, Kyle. We're back underway.
Rocco hangs on to the 3rd spot. Eric Beers up to 4th. Rick Kluth in 5th. Kluth looks to the inside of Beers with a 4th spot on the back straightaway. Can't make it stick on the bottom. Will fall back in the line single file as they come around to complete lap 17.
Lap 17 going up on the board. The 4th spot being occupied by Eric Beers. Right behind him is Kobe. Kobe really digging on him as he tries to overhaul him down the back straightaway. Beers and Kobe side by side in turn number 3.
Here's Kobe to the inside, and another driver that really had to make his way back up through the field after being involved in an incident with the 55 car on lap number 3. He is now among the top 5 cars on the racetrack as they come back off the corner. Eric Beers under fire from Farrell to the inside.
Tommy Farrell moves to the inside of Eric Beers. Farrell's got the body damage on the car, but it doesn't look like it's hurting him at all. Beers overhauls him on the high side. Here comes Jimmy Blewett knocking on the back door of Farrell as they go down the back straightaway. Blewett will dive to the bottom and try to take the spot away. Tire punt off turn number 4.
Well, that's another car that's been on and off pit road. Remember, no power steering for the driver of car number 12 of Jimmy Blewett, muscling that car around this half mile and is just outside of the top 5 as the challenge is on for 2nd. Side by side down into turn number 1. To the outside goes Keith Rocco, hard into the outside wall.
Rocco, a repeat of last year, hits the outside wall in almost the exact same spot, so the run from dead last completely falls apart for Keith Rocco.
Keith Rocco coming together with the 58 car of Ronnie Silk while challenging for the 2nd spot. They were side by side.
And that is exactly the same spot that Keith Rocco hit the wall last year. Rocco had an exciting incident over in turn number 2, actually climbed up on the wall, rode the wall.
In the small block SK type modifieds up in New England.
Tommy Crovino's first ever win on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour.
Had the 6 into the outside wall for Keith Rocco. So that'll move Doug Kobe up into 2nd, Eric Beers in 3rd, Jimmy Blewett in 4th. Behind race leader Ted Christopher, single file restart off turn 3. Here we go again.
Christopher brings the cars back down for a restart. Some drivers trying to pass to the outside and the inside. Sean Carrick goes underneath Richie Evans Jr., but action goes back to the front. Doug Kobe in that 2nd spot. Eric Beers 3rd, Jimmy Blewett 4th. The cream has risen to the top. 4 white cars at the front of the field.
And sometimes, again, Doug Kobe's been to the front, to the back, and back to the front, as has Jimmy Blewett. Eric Beers right now in that third spot. He has been consistently quiet all afternoon, as has Ted Christopher right there at the front of the field as they come back off the corner to complete another lap. Ryan Priest making some passes further back in car number 81, moving around the 27 car a moment ago of Adam LaCicero.
Battle for the top 10 spot. The 19 of Kenny Horton gets past Glenn Young Jr. in that number 45. Young slides back one spot. Here comes Ryan Priest underneath the number 27 of LaCicero. Give that spot to Priest as he goes into the corner. He's got the 45 in front of him.
Yeah, they're really shuffling the deck just outside of the top 10 as the leaders come back down to the stripe. It is Ted Christopher at the point, Doug Kobe in second. They've been able to break away from the race for third between Eric Beers, Jimmy Blewett, and the 8 for Tommy Farrell in the 8 car. Here is the 12 to the inside. Blewett to third. Moving around Eric Beers, Farrell, and the 55 has rebounded nicely for Stephen Reed, your Stafford rookie for 2008, just outside of the top 5. Just past halfway now, 27 down, 23 to go, and it's Christopher at the point. Kobe in second. They have checked out and are long gone from the race for third. That involves Jimmy Blewett, Eric Beers, and Tommy Farrell.
We've got a gaggle of cars mired back in the pack. Ronnie Silk is stuck in the middle of that pack. The number 91 of Sean Carrick has got the 48 of Rick Kluth right behind him. Young Jr. is also there. There goes Ronnie Silk past the number 27 of LaCicero. So Ronnie Silk, who had to go to the rear of the field, is trying to fight his way back.
Trying to come up through the field after running among the top 5 for the first half of this race for Ronnie Silk. Farrell now among the top 5 in car number 8, watching him come up through the field. Passing flag being shown now to Hollywood Henry Stample, car number 3.
And right now, Ted Christopher is on cruise control. He's got Doug Kobe about 10 car lengths behind him. Christopher doesn't have to push the issue. He has a nice, comfortable lead. There is some lap traffic in front of him, but he's got a few more laps until he hits some of that lap traffic. But, boy, he just made a liar out of me because he catches him going down the back straightaway.
Goes to the outside of car number 8 for Earl Paulus. And now swings to the inside of the 74 for Sherry Hogan. Now 2 lap cars. Hogan gets out of shape in turn number 1 and really slows up Doug Kobe. Really slowed up Doug Kobe there a moment ago for Sherry Hogan. And Kobe lost some ground. Now we'll move around Earl Paulus in car number 8, or will attempt to. That's the only car right now between himself and race leader Ted Christopher as the field gets strung out for the first time this afternoon. 16 laps to go and the leader hits the stripe.
16 more laps in the books. Ted Christopher continues to lead the way. Doug Kobe has got some lap traffic of Patty Pruitt in front of him. Lays the bumper to Pruitt down the back straightaway, saying, move out of the way, you are a lap car. Give courtesy to the leaders. Kobe's going to go around the lap traffic on the outside. That allows Teddy Christopher to drive slowly off into the sunset.
All by himself at the front of the field with a gaggle of cars just ahead of him off of turn number 3, including Jeffrey Earnhardt, Richie Evans Jr., and Rob Janovic. All ahead of race leader Ted Christopher, but he's got plenty of room to work with. Some 20 car lengths between himself and second place Doug Kobe, who was also slowed up by lap traffic a few laps ago.
Well, this is where Teddy Christopher has to be careful, though. He does have a comfortable lead, but he is running up on the lap traffic. We've seen it before. The lap traffic can hold you up. That's going to allow Doug Kobe to catch up. And right now, Ted Christopher is losing that gap that he had to Doug Kobe as Kobe is starting to catch Christopher, who is stuck behind some of this lap traffic.
There to go, back to the back straightaway. Christopher nowhere to go, and a shot to Janovic on the back stretch. Janovic will move to the inside, Christopher to the outside. Not sure if that's something Christopher wanted to do. Janovic will give the race leader plenty of room to the inside. Doug Kobe, what was 20 car lengths, is now 3 on the back straightaway. Plenty of room for Kobe up high, with more lap traffic just ahead in the form of Richie Evans Jr.
The lap traffic has definitely been the help for Doug Kobe. Ted Christopher stuck in some of that lap traffic. He's going to go to the top line of the Speedway. Richie Evans Jr. in front of him, as is La Cicero in the 27. Keep an eye on Doug Kobe. Look at him go to the bottom of Christopher into turn number 3. Evans slams the door on Kobe. Kobe's going to lose that lead. He only had it for one corner.
Yeah, he broke loose on the bottom of the racetrack, and La Cicero now will allow the leader's room to the inside. He'll slide up the racetrack. Richie Evans Jr. next in line. He'll slide up high. Here are the leaders down to the inside, and now the 45 for Gary Young will move to the inside. Leaders will go high.
If Christopher can get away, he's going to take off like a rabbit. That has been the hindrance to Christopher, was all that lap traffic. Now he's got a clear track in front of him. There goes Kobe trying to thread the needle going in the corner. Moves Richie Evans Jr. up the track. Kobe now comes down the front straightaway, hits Sherry Hogan. Hogan is just a moving chicane out there.
The 12 for Jimmy Blewett, unable to close though between himself and Doug Kobe, as there are 7 lap cars between Kobe and Jimmy Blewett. In turn number 3, Ted Christopher free and clear of lap traffic. He is gone, and I'm not sure, Derek, if we stay under green, there's enough time, even with the lap traffic being a factor, enough time for Kobe to close in with just 5 laps to go this time.
5 more laps that finds Teddy Christopher in the 00 out in front. Doug Kobe in the 2nd spot. 3rd spot is the number 12 of Jimmy Blewett, followed by Eric Beers, his teammate, and Tommy Farrell. One car sideways in the corner. That's Mark Nappy in the 14. Gets the car bunched back up and keeps the car rolling once again. No caution out on the track.
Yeah, we're good and clean and green around this half mile with 4 laps to go, and a tight squeeze here on the front stretch. Caution is out, and we have a spin. Earl Paulus, it looks like, here on the front stretch.
And now, Kyle, the complexion of this race has completely changed. Ted Christopher had a straightaway advantage. When he gets the clear track in front of him.
In 4th, and another solid performance by car number 8, Tommy Farrell from Neptune back there.
That is the back straightaway back there. We thought they were driving off into the trees.
Continuing under caution, 4 laps to go in the SK Modified feature event. We mentioned the Super Modifieds. They are on deck, lined up and ready to go behind.
So the halfway money going to Jeffrey Earnhardt at the conclusion of this race.
And we'll talk more about that when we go to victory lane in a few laps. But first, we have a race to settle at the front. Ted Christopher, Doug Kobe, Jimmy Blewett. 1, 2, 3 with 4 laps to go as they go to turn 1, and a great restart by Stephen Reed in car 55. He is up to 4th.
Good move by the number 55. Comes to that 4th spot, but all eyes are on that top 3. Christopher, Kobe, and Blewett. They go into the 3rd corner. Look at Jimmy Blewett get the advantage on the bottom. He moves past Doug Kobe for 2nd.
He gets a 2nd spot, but I don't think there's enough time. But you never know. Ted Christopher at the point. Blewett in 2nd. Kobe back to 3rd. Reed to 4th. Eric Beers off the pace and slow on the back straightaway for the 2nd consecutive lap in car number 5. He falls to the tail end of the field as the leaders go back to turn 2.
Tough break for Kobe that trouble in the front straightaway going into turn number 1. 2 cars wreck hard as they hit the turn 1 wall. Wow, what a hard impact that was. It looks like the 45 of Gary Young Jr. is involved. Looks like tough to tell, but I think it's the number 14 of Mark Nappy from Howell, New Jersey, also involved. A very, very frightening incident on the front straightaway. 2 cars got together and pounded the turn 1 wall. Safety crews are already over there. Cleanup crews there as well. Mark Nappy and Gary Young both sitting at the top of the track. Once we've
So the red flag flies now with 2 laps to go in this feature event for the SK Modifieds after 2 cars tangle in turn number 1.
cars around the track. Tense moments over in turn number 1. Safety crews over there, cleanup crew and ambulances over there. Once we receive word from the incident, we will get that to you folks. But right now, want to clear the area. If anyone is standing near the fence, please get back. If anyone is standing over near the turn 1 fence, please step back. We want to keep the area as clear as possible for safety reasons. And they did have what you'd call a bird's eye view of that shot, Kyle. And
no doubt they'll have some great shots. Not the shots that we were hoping to have here, but a lot of wild competition here for the SK Modifieds. And
we do have to thank Sports Plus Video for coming along this weekend and supporting all of the racing action that is happening here this weekend. Sports Plus Video is located right at the bottom staircase of the suites, in the suite number 1, I should say, the bottom of the staircase there. They have all of the action that is going on this weekend. As a matter of fact, they have on their TV monitors some of the action that happened here last night. So if you were not here last night, run on over there, get a little taste of what the action looked like here last night. Pick up a video, purchase the video today. Remember, $25 will get you that 3 DVD set today.
Keeping your morals in order and letting your son know you're okay.
Oh, absolutely. My wife and my son are up there. I've always wanted to talk on a microphone at the North-South, but not like this. We're going to come back next year, and I hope before.
Contact going into turn 1. Ted Christopher went around. Jimmy Blewett cruised on to the victory. But when they go back to green, there are going to...
slugging it out last year, are back at the front this year. And with
Stephen Reed and the number 8 of Tommy Farrell, they have both been running up front all race long. They don't compete with a lot of the drivers that are in this field. A lot of these drivers hailing from the Connecticut area. They are familiar SK Modified racers, but...
Ted Christopher, Jimmy Blewett, Doug Kobe, green, white, checker for the SK Modifieds. Here they come. Pace car is in. And hopefully for the final time, we get the green flag.
Coming down the front straightaway, we restarted with 2 more laps to go. Can Jimmy Blewett catch him? Can Jimmy Blewett pass him? Will it be Doug Kobe's race? We're going to find out with a lap and a half to go as they go down into turn number 3. Oh, Blewett getting into the back of Christopher. White flag comes out. 1 more lap to go.
1 lap to go and into turn 1 for the final time, and it's a 2-man race at the point. Ted Christopher and Jimmy Blewett out of shape, trying to close in. It's going to be Christopher leading them into turn 3 for the final time. Blewett in second, Reed's up to third, Kobe backsliding, possibly outside of the top 5 as a checkered flag is in the wind. Ted Christopher wins it here tonight.
So it was tough in the early going stages of the event.
All right, folks, he's out of the car. How about it for Ted And we'll sneak in here and get a word with Mr. 2008 Whelen Modified Tour champion. Continues his late season tear here at the Concord Motorsport Park. Congratulations.
Is it on right?
Yeah, it's on right. Looking good here in victory.